Hey there, listen up, because today on this explainer, we're going to completely rewire how you interact with AI. Think of me as your senior systems architect for the next few minutes. If you've been treating Claude like some glorified search engine, just typing in a prompt and crossing your fingers, well, it is time for a massive upgrade. We're moving you from that junior developer mindset straight into the role of a true operator. How? By building a fully automated hands-off command center. Here's the blueprint we're executing today. First, moving beyond the chatbot illusion. Second, building context and memory. Third, precision commands and planning. Fourth, automated routines and triggers. And finally, token efficiency. Let's jump in. Section 1. Beyond the chatbot illusion. Time to upgrade your mindset. There is such a stark contrast between these two mindsets. So many developers are just stuck at what we call level 1. You ask a question, you get an answer, and you leave. Honestly, that's using about 5% of the tool's actual capability. Power users, they don't do this. They treat the AI as a full operating system. They rely on persistent memory, they direct specific outcomes, and they set up automated execution. We are making this shift today from just asking questions to issuing direct commands. Section 2, context and memory. Let's build that foundation. All right, creating a clouded.md file is entirely non-negotiable if you want to operate at a senior level. Think of this as your permanent business memory file. Instead of pasting the exact same instructions over and over again, this file automatically loads your custom rules, your brand voice, and your specific system context into every single session. It absolutely stops the system from starting cold. Taking just 5 minutes to set this up, it literally changes your entire workflow. Building right on top of that, you've got to structure your project workspaces. This is brilliant because it acts as a personal document retrieval system, a RAG setup, directly over your notes. You just upload your recurring files once. We're talking company documents, client briefs, those massive PDFs. It establishes persistent context, so Claude stops asking for the same background info every single time. Your workspace finally has a permanent memory. Section 3, commands and planning. This is all about precision execution. Think of your new setup as an arsenal of 89 specific slash commands. When you type a /, you aren't just casually typing text anymore. You are instantly locking the model into specific, repeatable skills. For example, instead of asking Claude, "Hey, can you find what's wrong with my code?" you just hit /debug. Need to clean up your architecture? /refactor. Want to design a process? /workflow. This entire menu lets you direct outcomes instantly. But, with great power comes the need for great oversight. As a system operator, you've got to always integrate plan mode for complex tasks. This is a built-in safety net where the AI actually outlines its step-by-step plan for your approval before it executes anything. You get to safely preview the steps, review the logic, and then either approve, edit, or just halt the whole process before the engine starts running and touching your files. To truly graduate from a chatbot user to a systems operator, you also need to save your winning formulas as reusable skills. Instead of typing out these incredibly long, complex instructions every time you need a task done, just save your absolute best, most structured prompts as internal templates. Define the exact outcomes you want. By structuring these reusable skills, you validate outcomes rapidly and solidify your daily workflows without ever starting from scratch. Section 4, routines and triggers. Let's talk automated architecture. The absolute magic here is powered by MCP, or the Model Context Protocol. MCP is essentially a bridge. It's a connector that allows the AI to securely reach out and interact directly with your live data streams and external tools. By wiring up MCP connectors, you give Claude direct access to your live environments like Slack, GitHub, or Notion, so you literally never have to manually copy and paste text between browser tabs ever again. And setting this up, it's way simpler than you might think. Every automated routine follows a really clean 3-part architecture. Step 1 is the trigger. What event actually fires the workflow? Step 2 is the prompt. What exactly should the AI do once it wakes up? And step 3 is the connector. Where does that final output go? When the trigger fires, Claude spins up in the cloud, runs your prompt, sends the data, and shuts down. Boom. No servers to manage. So here's how you actually configure this logic in the real world. On one end, we set our trigger. This could be a specific schedule, like every morning at 8 a.m., or an event-based trigger, like whenever a new pull request is opened in GitHub. Then, on the other end, we hook this trigger into our connected MCP outputs. This means the AI can read a new GitHub issue analyze it, and immediately push the results straight to a live Slack channel, completely autonomously. Let's look at how this plays out in practice. Here is a concrete daily routine template you can totally steal. At 8 a.m., a scheduled cron trigger fires. At 8:01 a.m., this triggers your saved prompt, which instructs the AI to read the last 24 hours of GitHub issue activity. By 8:05 a.m., it automatically formats those milestones and pushes a crisp, perfectly formatted stand-up report directly to your team Slack channel. Zero manual work required. How cool is that? Section 5, Token Efficiency. How to scale the system without breaking it. All right, hitting a limit mid-workflow is just the absolute worst. So there are 21 strict optimization protocols you need to follow to prevent that. Think of tokens as a really strict budget. Heavy users don't necessarily get more tokens, they just use them a lot smarter. For instance, never upload raw PDFs or massive messy folders if you don't actually have to. Convert files to plain text and only give the system exactly what it needs for the task at hand. To scale your command center efficiently, follow these rules. First, batch similar tasks. Ask for a summary, a rewrite, and a headline all in one single prompt. Second, keep your context files under 2,000 words. Third, if an error occurs, just click Restart Conversation from here, instead of constantly replying with, "No, I meant this." That just drags all the broken context along with you. And finally, for massive scalability, spin up multi-agent reviews. Having different AI subagents validating automated code outputs in parallel is so much faster and cleaner than doing it all in one massive chat thread. And that brilliantly brings us to our final thought today. The real shift happening right now? It isn't about better chatbots. It's about shifting your entire mindset. As our source material perfectly states, most automation tools make you think like an engineer. Routines let you think like an operator. You define what happens and when, and the AI handles all the execution. So the final question I leave you with is this. Are you going to keep treating these concepts like a basic chat manual? Or are you finally ready to step up and operate the system?